Ghana and Togo to demarcate borders by end of May. One dead, 5 injured in accident on Fura Recipe in Togo Road. Christians commemorate the resurrection of Jesus Christ with renewed hope of economic recovery. And army in Nigeria kills 70 terrorists in air raid. And it's Sunday, April 17, 2022. Christ is risen, and you're welcome to News Hour Live on GBC News, the Easter Sunday edition of the news. The National Coordinator of the Ghana Boundary Commission, Brigadier General Emmanuel Kotia, says Ghana and Togo will reinstall their boundary pillars by the end of May 2022. Brigadier General Kotia said the Commission's priority is to ensure that all Ghanaian lands are protected. According to him, this is part of plans to forestall any possible major land disputes in the future. There has been a long-standing boundary dispute between Ghana and Togo. Ghana and Togo have since 2017 been holding negotiations regarding their common maritime boundary. Leaders of the two countries, President Akufo-Addo and President Faure Gnassingbé, have agreed on peaceful and concerted efforts to resolve the issue to foster bilateral relations. The Ghana Boundary Commission in April 2021 began an audit of Ghana's land boundary with Togo to help avert any major land dispute between the two countries. The exercise followed complaints received through the various security agencies, traditional authorities and local authorities concerning some boundary disputes. The technical committee tasked with the mandate has agreed on a roadmap for the negotiations. A Hyundai Creta salon car with registration number GW4826-20 ran into about 6 people after veering off the road at an area called Christian Quarters at Abetifi in the Eastern Region.
The accident, which occurred on Sunday morning, claimed the life of a 10-year-old boy, Master Emmanuel Atta Serebo Sr., while his twin brother, younger brother, cousin and 2 others sustained some injuries. The injured were rushed to the Abetifi Health Center for treatment. An eyewitness narrated the incident to GBC News. The driver, Charles Appiah, has been arrested and is assisting the police with investigations.
Christians today commemorated the resurrection of Jesus Christ with church services. Preachers at church services GBC News visited reminded Christians of the charge to spread the gospel.
With songs of praises, the congregation at the Bethel Methodist Church, Kukumlimli, were thankful to the Lord for being part of the resurrection celebration. Scriptures were also read to affirm the essence of the risen Christ. The Superintendent Minister of the Bethel Methodist Church, Kukumlimli, Very Reverend Doris Sa, reminded Christians of the need to live life worthy of the ultimate price Jesus paid by taking upon himself the sins of the world. The immediate past presiding bishop of the Methodist Church Ghana, Most Reverend Titus Kofi Awoche, said the resurrection of Jesus Christ paves the way for everyone to seek the Lord. Speaking on the theme, The Essence of the Resurrection, the head pastor of the Lord's Pentecostal Church International at Nsawam, Apostle Gilbert Kogbe, said the resurrection of Jesus Christ from death signifies newness. He urged Christians to let go of everything that would take them away from the Lord's side. At the Apostolic Church Ghana, Kaneshi Central District, the district's pastor, Pastor Joseph Clote, called on Christians to eschew social vices and some love to the needy and vulnerable in society. At the Apostolic Faith Mission International, the General Overseer of the Church, Pastor Dr. Digraftose Kwame, said the risen Christ is a reminder to all Christians of the power of the Lord over every situation. In his Easter message, the founder and General Overseer of the Victorious Light Chapel International, Apostle Ishmael Abuaji, called on Christians to be patriotic and help to correct some of the ills in society.
At a special Easter Sunday service, the minister in charge of the Mount Sinai Methodist Church, New Dowenya, in the Greater Accra region, Very Reverend Joseph Yeboah, asked Christians to also acknowledge efforts of other biblical figures whose accounts cannot be overlooked at Easter.
Reverend Kojo Yeboah said some personalities such as Nicodemus, Joseph of Arimathea, amongst others, must be recognized for their divine contributions towards Christ. While on earth, he told the congregation to shun the old self and appear in new life with the resurrected Christ. Reverend Yeboah also admonished spouses to allow the remnants of the resurrection to reflect in their homes. The Society Choir, on this occasion, lit the podium with its seasonal songs. The Sunday school also took part in the appreciation to the resurrected King. There were also some appellation from the quarters of the Christ Little Band. The special Easter Sunday service was dubbed Journey to the Cross. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Hallelujah.
Most Reverend Dr. Kwabena Wafu says Jesus' resurrection from the dead makes him trustworthy of his preaching of the good news. He states that it also stands for hope for Christians.
This is the biggest event in the history of humanity that calls for celebration. Why? Because for the Good Friday to Holy Saturday to Easter morning, people lived in hopelessness. People live as if the world had come to an end, especially the disciples of Jesus. But going to anoint the body of Jesus, to continue with the mortuary rites so that he could be buried properly, they go there and he is not there. Not there in the sense that he's been taken away from that tomb, but that he is risen. He is risen. And the words that come from the angels who met these women and the voice that they hear connotes a big, big, big victory. Victory over sin, victory over death, victory over the grave.
Pupils of Kwabena SDA Basic School near Bojuasi in the Central Region have been sensitized on the dangers of teenage pregnancy. The pupils were also encouraged to abstain from premarital sex.
Teenage pregnancy is a serious public health and social problem which can have serious impact on the physical and mental well-being of young mothers, as well as increasing the rates of child mortality. In Ghana, it is estimated that 750,000 adolescents get pregnant annually. The central region has an alarming rate of teenage pregnancy cases. In a bid to reducing the burden of teenage pregnancy in the region, the Ideal Women's Foundation Ghana is providing health information and sanitary items to students to curb the rampant teenage pregnancy problem, thus helping them to stay in school and get education. The founder and executive director of the foundation, Mrs. Estella Bunsen, reminded parents to educate their teenage girls, train and support them both mentally and spiritually during their adolescent stage to avoid teenage pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases such as HIV and AIDS. A senior midwife at the Bojiase Polyclinic, Mrs. Agnes Fusumenu, explained that in midwifery, the enlargement of the pelvic starts at 25, so getting pregnant early should be avoided. The head teacher of Kwabena SDA Basic School, Mr. Thomas Ahiagbenyo, said the alarming rate of teenage pregnancy in the area is worrying and advised against parental neglect of young children.
Nutritious and satisfying spice-infused millet beverage mostly sold as street food in Ghana. Fura, also called spiced millet dumpling or alkaline African smoothie, is a millet dough ball originating with the Fulanis and Hausas in West Africa. It is of top choice, especially among the Hausa or residents of Zango communities here in Ghana. The basic ingredients are just like that for Hausa cocoa and it's very easy to prepare. Let's prepare some fura today on Chopology. If it suits your fancy to prepare fura, then you need millet, guinea pepper, negro pepper, chili, ginger, cloves, black peppercorns and salt to taste. The first step is to blend the millet and all the spices until smooth. Add water to the mixture and using your fingers or a spatula, mix well, smoothing out all lumps to form a bit of a thick paste. Cover and leave overnight to ferment. In the morning, scoop the top of the paste and throw away. Transfer into a clean pot, add a pinch of salt and put on fire. Cook on medium heat and keep stirring the mixture in one direction as the mixture thickens. Add a bit of water and cover the pot. Leave to cook for about 5 minutes on fire. Continue stirring in one direction. It will finally come together in a ball. When the desired consistency has been achieved, remove from the heat and set aside to cool. Once it is cooled enough to handle, take sizable portions and roll into balls. To do this, lightly dust your palms with corn flour and roll the dough in your palm or a flat plate, shaping it into a ball. Dust the ball with corn flour. This helps the fura from drying out. Your fura is now ready to be served. To serve, blend each ball by adding water. Blend until smooth and thick to your preferred consistency. Add some sweetener of your choice, milk and some peanuts. With the weather what it is today, you may add some ice for that chilled effect.
The block let me the album. See me we are. Let me the milk no so. Let me the one. Now my feet.
fura is served like a drink or light porridge. Your fura danono is ready. Enjoy. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Fura Recipe, has inspected vegetable farms belonging to the Pace and Love Vegetable Growers Association at Asokwa in the Ashanti region. He commended the farmers for conforming to best practices that has earned the association an accreditation to export their produce to the European market.
The Peace and Love Vegetable Growers Association at Asokwa consists of over 100 farmers who are mainly into the cultivation of onions, chili pepper, carrots and lettuce. The Kwabena Agriculture College and the Crops Research Institute of CSIR at Fumesia have adopted the association's vegetable farms for some of its research work and practical lessons. The Minister for Agriculture, Dr. Fura Recipe, has visited the vegetable farms of the association to acquaint himself with their operations. The farmers told the minister that the location of the farms within the greater Kumasi enclave is restricting them from expansion. The project coordinator of commercial agriculture projects in Ghana, Mr. Sewu Swajimai, said the government has rehabilitated many dams across the country to provide water to farmers all year round. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Fura Recipe, commended the farmers for engaging in greenhouse farming, which is a component of the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
This project here is part of the great Planting for Food and Jobs. There are 5 modules. What you are doing here as farmers comes under the 4th module, which is the greenhouse vegetable villages.
The Agric Minister later presented a container van to the association to facilitate their work.
As part of efforts to curb drug abuse among the youth in the country, Winning Way Foundation Ghana, with support from the Ghana Health Service, is on a sensitization campaign against the use of illegal drugs among the youth at senior high schools across the country.
Studies by the Ghana Health Service indicate an increase in substance abuse among the youth. The campaign is using the formation of small clubs in senior high schools to send its message across. The first branch of club has been outdoored at the Opokuwari School in the Ashanti region. An assistant headmaster of the school, Mr. Akwesi Boating Odro, said the formation of the Friends of Mental Health and Addiction Prevention Club in the school is timely. The chief executive of Winning Way Foundation Ghana, Ms. Lydia Abnamenu, said members of the club will be equipped with knowledge on the effects of drug abuse. The Ashanti Regional Director of the Mental Health Authority, Mrs. Faustina Nwako, said the figures of drug abuse among the youth is worrisome and demands immediate attention.
Every day in and day out, we bring youth, we bring the students who are abusing these psychoactive drugs. Many of them are having mental issues. So we decided that we will not sit in our facility alone. We will go out, we will reach out to the schools, we will go to their schools and educate them.
Time now to catch up on some of the past week's major stories and pictures.